guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim. Today is the last day of Bookmas, day 12. I'm really happy that I've made it to day 12. Well, I hope I make it to day 12. I haven't finished yet, obviously, when I'm filming this. But yeah, it's been so much fun like making these little videos and planning stuff out. And I usually never complete anything that I say I'm going to complete. So if I have made it to the end, I'm going to have a little celebration on my own. So for this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my plans for Buzzwordathon this year. So Buzzwordathon was a kind of like every now and then readathon run by Books and Lala. And it was basically a readathon where she chose like a buzzword that she could see on her shelves a fair lot. And then within 1 week, she would read a whole bunch of books with that buzzword in. And I think I did participate a couple of times, but that might have been before I had my own channel. And yeah, they're really, really fun. Anyway, so she wants to make it more of a community thing. So she's created a buzzword for every single month of the year next year. And she's kind of leaving it in the hands of the community to kind of do with it what you want. If you want to do like a week readathon every single month, or have it like as a reading challenge and things like that. I will link the announcement video that she put up for that down in the comments. So do go check that out if you want to know more about the rules, although I don't think there are many rules, but if you want to find out more information about the readathon. In my goals video, I spoke about kind of wanting to pick up more new releases, or at least being more aware of new releases that are coming out. So what I'm planning to do is I'm not going to do like a week reading just lots of books with one buzzword in. I'm going to try and read one book a month that covers each buzzword for each month. So I'm kind of doing it the reading challenge way throughout the year. And when I was planning this, I've chosen only books that I own currently. But the rule I've created for this challenge is if I get to that month and I've already read the book, so I can't pick it up, or I don't have a book that covers that particular word, then I have to buy a new 2021 release in order to complete that prompt. Cool, so January's word is dream, and just by pure chance, it coincides with the Bookclub that Hannah and I run, and the topic for this round is sleep, and one of the books that we're reading is A Wide Awake and Dreaming by Julie Flagare, so it fits perfectly. And this is a memoir in which Julie tells the story of when she was diagnosed with narcolepsy and her experiences with narcolepsy. So for February, the buzzword is colour, and for this I'm going to be reading Hood Feminism, and that's written by Mickey Kendall. So this book discusses feminism, but it also makes sure it doesn't ignore important social issues like racism, ableism and trans misogyny. I haven't really read any books on feminism yet, so I thought that this would be a good place to start. Then for March, the buzzword is time. So for this, I'm giving Matt Haig a third chance as a fiction author. So Matt Haig, I really like his non-fiction book that I've read, which is Notes on a Nervous Planet. I did really enjoy that book, but I can't really get on with his fiction books. So I read, is it called Aliens? Alien. The Humans. It's not called Aliens. It's called The Humans. But yeah, I definitely didn't love that book, to be honest. I did like it, but it didn't blow my mind. And then we recently read for my friends and family book club, The Midnight Library, and I didn't get on with that book really at all, and I'm going to talk more about that in my wrap-up that I'll do later on in January. But anyway, the only book that I have in my collection with the buzzword time in is How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. And so all I know about this book is that it follows Tom, who's 41, or he appears to be 41, but he's actually much, much older than that, and he just has lived for a really long time but hasn't aged for some reason. And it sounds really good, and the thing is with Matt Haig's ideas for books is I feel like I really like the idea, but then I haven't got on with the way that it's been presented so far. So I'm going to give his books a third try, and if I don't get on with this one, then I think that me and Matt Haig have to part ways when it comes to his fiction work, at least, which is kind of sad. Okay, so for April, the buzzword is galaxy terms, so it's not just one word, it can be like stars or moon or like anything to do with the galaxy. So I've gone route 1, and I'm going to go with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is written by Douglas Adams. And yeah, I've read this, so this will be a reread for me, and I really, really liked it. Like when I was a teenager, I absolutely loved it. You basically follow Arthur Dent's adventures after he is forced to leave the Earth because the Earth has been demolished by aliens to make way for a highway through space, a bypass through space. I'm sitting here with these books and I didn't show you it. There's The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is my copy. It's very short. So for me, the buzzwords are house and home, and for this I have stretched it to also include flat, because I figure that's just another word for house and home, right? Just for people who can't afford a house. Yeah, I'm gonna read The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary, and this follows Tiffy and Leon, who have never met, but they share the same bed in an apartment. But yeah, so they share this bed at different times, so they never meet, and then it's basically a love story. So I guess it's about them eventually meeting, maybe, or just getting to know each other through other ways. And I think it's dual perspective, so you get to see it from both sides. I don't really know why I bought this book, because I don't really get on with romance books, so I'm dubious as to whether or not I'm going to like it, but I own it, so I definitely want to give it a go. So for June, the buzzword is name or title, so it could be like king or just a name. So for that, I've chosen My Cat Yugoslavia by Pajdim Statovci. I think maybe you might pronounce it, but probably not. I did look up how to pronounce the word and I couldn't say what I was hearing. But yeah, so hopefully that's okay. But yeah, so My Cat Yugoslavia. And so Yugoslavia used to be the name of a country. I don't really know what to completely expect with this book. I know that there's a talking cat in it. So I'll just read you the back, but it says, in 1980s Yugoslavia, a young girl named Amin is married off to a man she hardly knows. But soon her country is torn apart by war and she is forced to flee with her family. Decades later, Amin's son Bakim has grown up a social outcast in a country suspicious of foreigners. Aside from casual hookups, his only companion is a pet boa constrictor, until one night in a gay bar, Bakim meets a talking cat. It is this witty, charming, manipulative creature that starts him on a journey back to Kosovo to confront his demons and make sense of the remarkable, cruel history of his family. And soon he learns that love can be found in the most unexpected of places. It sounds so good. And it has pages and pages of reviews as well. So there's like so many reviews. Okay, so for July, the buzzword is last. And for this, I'm going to pick up Otherworld by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. And the reason that I picked up this book for this prompt is because the kind of series name is Last Reality. So that's where last comes in. Yeah, and I think I bought this book because I was going to do a read along and I never ended up doing it. This was quite a few years ago now. And then I think it didn't really have amazing reviews from the people who did end up reading it. So I kind of just put it to one side and just forgot about it. But I think it's about like an addictive game that isn't really reality, but it is kind of reality. I think that's basically what it says. And that's all I really know about it. So for August, the buzzword is a time of day. So for that, I'm going to pick up The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So Erin Morgenstern wrote The Starless Sea, which was my favourite book of 2020. So I'm highly anticipating this book and I think it's going to be a 5-star read. So I'm really excited about it. But I kind of don't want to know anything about it. I haven't found out anything about this book. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that and really hope that I end up loving it as much as The Starless Sea or more than Starless Sea. For September, the buzzword is dark. And so for this, I'm going to be reading Hope in the Dark by Rebecca Solnit. So this book was sent to me by Life's Library, which is a book club run by Rosianna and John Green. And I believe this book, it talks about hope from the perspective of an activist. And that's all I kind of really know about it. So I can read you the back. It says, at a time when political, environmental and social gloom can seem overpowering, this remarkable work offers a lucid, affirmative and well-argued case for hope. Hope in the Dark traces a history of activism and social change over the past 5 decades, from the fall of the Berlin Wall to the worldwide marches against the war in Iraq, following in the footsteps of last century's thinkers including Wolf, Gandhi, Borges? Now I'm showing how really unread I am. Benjamin and Havel. Solnit conjures a timeless vision of cause and effect that will light our way through the dark and lead us to a profound and effective political engagement. So yeah, I'm really interested in picking this up and hopefully it will encourage me to have some hope about our disastrous political situation we're in right now. For October, the buzzword is elements, and so for that, I've chosen Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, which is the second book in the Hunger Games, which means that before I read this one, I have to read The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And fire is like the elemental word in that, because I think by elements, Kayla said it was like fire, water, earth, those kind of elements, from what I can remember. So anyway, that's why I've chosen fire. I've never read The Hunger Games. I have watched the movies, but that was quite a long time ago, and I loved the movies. So I thought I'd give the books a go. Moving on to November. November's buzzword is lost, and this is the first buzzword that I just didn't have any books with the word lost in the title. So I went online and I found one book coming out in 2021 with lost in the title. But it does sound pretty interesting, to be fair. It's not really something I would ever think to pick up. And it's The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. And yeah, I think the cover of the book is really gorgeous, to be honest. So if I'm going to judge it by its cover, then I have high hopes for it. So this book comes out on March 2nd, 2021, and it follows a story of a healer who has an apothecary in olden day times. I can't remember exactly what those olden day times are, but some olden day times. And the healer basically supplies poison to wives who want done with their husbands. They don't want to be in a marriage anymore, so they're going to poison them off. And this healer hands out the poisons to do it, and it's this whole kind of mystery of like these apothecary murders. And there's also a dual storyline going on where you follow a character in today's world, and one day this woman comes upon like an old vial that she's found. I think it's set in London from what I can remember. Yeah, she finds this old vial, and then she starts looking into like these old murders and stuff like that. So I think it's a bit of a historical fiction mystery. So yeah, definitely not something I would usually pick up, but I think it sounds really interesting and hopefully I like it. And finally, December's buzzwords were anything that has a day, a year, or a month in the title. And so for this, I've chosen The Skin We're In, A Year of Black Resistance and Power by Desmond Cole. And actually, I think this is a book that I've heard about through Books and Lala, because it's a Canadian book and it's about racism in Toronto, I believe. So yeah, Desmond Cole in this book writes about racism within the police force in Toronto in Canada. Okay guys, so that's everything. So that's my Buzzwordathon TBR as it stands at the moment. We'll check in with you next year and see how it went down, see if I read any of those books or if I had to find all the rest of them as other new releases in 2021. Yeah, which I hope not, because that's a bit of a Russian roulette situation, isn't it? Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for watching my videos. This is my first Bookmas I've ever done, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been so nice to be making videos throughout the Christmas period, and also seeing everybody else's kind of videos that they're making during this time as well. It's definitely cheered me up, and I think at this moment in time, everybody needs a bit of like cheer. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next week with another video. Take care guys, bye.